Speaking of movie stars, I'm going to go back to the 80s.
Love it.
1988. I'm choosing the movie The Naked Gun from the Files of Police Squad. This is a movie directed by David Zucker, who kind of a legend in the parody comedy genre. He with his brother Jerry and Jim Abrams, they directed Airplane, Top Secret, and Ruthless People. David Zucker by himself directed Basketball, Scary Movie 3, Scary Movie 4, and Naked Gun 2.5.
He was not involved in like the Hot Shots movies?
That was the other two guys, and that was his brother. Between like David Zucker and Jim Abrams and Jerry Zucker, like they all like kind of like bounced around and did this and that, and they worked together in groups. And so I think Hot Shots was Jerry Zucker.
Gotcha.
Not sure. Anyway, I'll read the back of the box. When the incompetent officer Frank Drebin seeks the ruthless killer of his partner, he stumbles upon an attempt to assassinate Queen Elizabeth. Tagline: You've read the ad, now see the movie.
The Naked Gun.
Some of these back of the boxes, man, his partner's not dead. So his partner doesn't have a killer because his partner's not dead. Someone tried to kill him, it didn't work. Anyway.
Right.
Police Squad, which is what this is based on, kind of. It was a very short-lived TV show in the early 80s, I think, maybe even late 70s. It was 6 episodes long, but it was essentially the same thing. It was Leslie Nielsen as Frank Drebin, who's just kind of like a bumbling cop who stumbles into doing all the right things. This, I think, in my opinion, might be one of the funniest movies ever made.
This movie's hilarious.
It's insanely funny.
Yeah.
It's got everything. I mean, it's literally nonstop jokes. I think this movie is like 86 minutes.
Great length.
Great length of movie. A little long for an 85-minute category. But it's really just nonstop jokes, like 3 per minute. Pretty much every kind of joke you can imagine. It's got slapstick and wordplay and innuendo and juxtaposition and satire and spoof and everything. But the jokes land at a outrageous rate.
Yeah,
like it's crazy how funny this movie is, and it's a lot smarter than you might think it is.
I think it gets pigeonholed as a more narrow comedy than it actually is, and
it's one of those comedies that you have to watch like the entire frame of the movie too, because there's almost definitely 3 jokes happening in the background that you're
a lot of sight gags. Yeah.
A lot of sight gags.
Yeah,
this movie, the rewatch of this movie made me laugh more than I've laughed at a movie in a very long time. The scene at the stadium, onto the sports, I think is one of the all-time great sports scenes not in a sports movie. We have the Queen at a baseball game who, it's kind of banana. Like she obviously that would never happen. It's like so ridiculous.
Yeah.
But then of course having her there as an outsider, it does heighten the humor a little bit because as an audience, we're Americans. And so we're a little defensive of this American thing in front of this British lady. And we all understand it and she has no idea what's going on. But it also uses it as an opportunity to lampoon behavior at sporting events where like people sitting in the wrong seats or the crowd watching bloopers of like serious injuries, tons of like spitting back when people use tobacco all the time. The national anthem, which I still can't figure out why we do that at games.
Nope,
it doesn't make any sense. And of course the behavior of umpires, which it's probably always been a problem, but it seems like it's just even more of a problem now with every game being on TV and whatnot. The reveal of Frank Drebin at the end when he's revealed to the crowd as the umpire, and then everybody thinks he's Enrico Palazzo. It's to me, one of the all-time jokes.
Yeah.
It's just so funny. There's really not a lot else to say about this movie. The plot is it is what it is. We're not watching this movie for plot. It's just pure humor all the way through. The cast is good. Priscilla Presley's in this movie, which is weird, I guess. I don't know that she did a lot else besides the Naked Gun movies.
No.
Ricardo Montalban is fucking awesome. George Kennedy, O.J. Simpson, future murderer in this movie.
Yes. Yeah.
Just for a few minutes. He's pretty good, actually. So yeah, this movie, like I said, 86 minutes. It was a hit. It made $140 million off a budget of 12.
Which is phenomenal.
That's phenomenal.
For the time. I mean,
For the
but that,
time.
yeah, that return on investment was,
So Leslie
tremendous.
Nielsen was the biggest movie star in the world for at least a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It's from the 80s. I know there's a lot of our customers out there are a little bit younger and maybe haven't caught up to stuff like this. I'm saying this is something that you absolutely should see if you haven't.
This is a movie that you walk past on the shelf, and I feel like a lot of people acknowledge it as if they've seen it, even if they haven't, because you're aware of the comedy and just the I don't know, the reputation that
You almost
this movie
look at it
has
and say,
earned
like,
for itself.
I got it.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen it.
Right.
You know, but if you haven't seen it in a while, go back. If you have never seen it, definitely check it out.
It's worth it.